Wayne, welcome to the program. It's been a wee while. It's great to catch up with you. I guess it'd be nice to find out how you're finding the role as Vice President of Federated Farmers. Is it pretty demanding?
It is. It's a welcome change. No longer do I have to talk about milk price and bobby calves and these sort of things. I get a whole new bunch of topics to talk about. So really enjoying the first couple of months as Vice President. Yeah.
And what are some of the big issues? I imagine, He Waka Eka Noa, the government's reaction to that and its proposal going through the discussion period. What are your thoughts on that?
I think we've all been surprised that I guess where the government went with it and where they've landed with their proposal. It's really not in a good place, and it's going to take a bit of work to understand just how we can make this work between both government and farming. So great to get out on the road last week down in Southland. A massive crowd turned out there at the stadium to hear from President Andrew around where feds are sitting, and it was great, obviously, to get the feedback from farmers, because at the end of the day we're a ground-up organisation, and it's those farmers' voices we're here to represent.
So those farmers that go along to these events, do they feel like that they can actually help? They can have their say and perhaps do their bit to make change?
Yeah, well, that's a good point. So there was a couple of things that came out of the last meeting. That meeting down there, while it was there was a large crowd, it still felt like a meeting. It wasn't anything like a rally or anything like that. It was definitely a meeting where people would come to be informed and get a bit of an understanding of what was going on. From there, the way that Feds works, we've got 24 provinces across New Zealand. Most people tend to know their local president or what's going on, but if you don't, certainly give Feds a call and they can let you know. The 24 provinces, that's our national council. They mandate the decisions that we're making and the positions that we're putting forward. So while the board are often the spokespeople for different policy areas, it's actually that national council and those 24 presidents that have got a really, really strong influence in the direction that we head. So as you can imagine, they've been flat out over the last couple of weeks, gauging some of that farmer opinion and gauging the direction that each of the different provinces want to take, particularly with the likes of Waka Eka Noa, and we're coming together literally very shortly, as I look at my calendar here today to have a discussion on just where we're sitting just at the moment.
Yeah, because time is upon you, isn't it? It wasn't much time. They were offering 6 weeks, I think it was, and that's due in about 2 or 3 weeks, isn't it?
That's right. The 18th of November, submissions are due. Obviously, from a dairy farmer's point of view, we're pretty much all in the heart of mating at the moment. So it's a pretty busy time on farm. Others are trying to get crops in the ground and obviously docking and tailings. But with us, everyone's playing catch-up mode, and it's not the best time to have a consultation period. But that's both at a farmer level, from a farmer submission point of view, and then at a governance level, and where we're sitting, it's flat out behind the scenes, trying to get everything arranged in line and have a united voice as an industry, because while we're all coming at things from a different area, it's important, I think, at the end of the day, to have a united voice on where we sit.
And are you finding that there is a united voice, that the different regions, do they have different needs and challenges, or is everyone basically dancing to the same tune, if you like?
Definitely different regions from a Fed's point of view. Yeah, there's a few alternative views and people looking at different ways. I think the core and the bottom lines are pretty similar, but just the way that we go about it and whatnot is there's some varying views. So that'll be interesting to hear as we go forward. And then obviously, from a partners, the Waka Eka Noa partners, there's a few different views within there now, and they're starting to really look at the government's proposal and think, well, what does this mean for our sector? So so they're going to need to come together as well and sort those out, and unfortunately it's a very tight time frame to do that in.
Do you feel, I don't suppose the word optimistic is quite appropriate, but do you feel you've got a really good case?
Yeah, I'm a pretty optimistic kind of guy, and yeah, we've got opportunity here. Yeah, the government put out such a terrible proposal that it's given given us a lot of opportunity to hopefully get something that's going to work. Yeah, what that's going to look like, I think that's going to adapt and evolve. But it sure as heck not going to be what was proposed a few weeks ago.
Well, good luck. I know you're flat out, so I'll let you get back into it. But we wish you well in the next few weeks. It's going to be a busy old time for you.
Oh, cheers, Mark. Appreciate that. And like I say, I just encourage farmers, particularly Feds members, to get along to their local meetings and have their say, because your voice will get listened to, and we greatly appreciate it. So cheers.